Welcome back to Carbon Racing Series, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a slightly altered calendar following recent events, but let's not get into that. We're here for some racing at the British Grand Prix circuit, Silverstone. Legendary circuit. It's changed a little bit since its first race here in 1950. Gone racing here many times in the 72 years since then. Two DRS zones, one on the Wellington Straight, one on the Hangar Straight down to Stowe. And take a look at some previous moments. This was Sam and Crowan in the Williams, making quite the move through Brooklands and then Luffield, going around the outside of the Alpine. Unfortunately, it wasn't the cleanest move in the end, as there was that little bit of contact towards the end. And then, a few laps later, fakeaways, making a move up the inside of Ben Dixon at Stowe, but Ben Dixon fighting back at Vale. But it didn't quite work out for him in the end, as he did have to relinquish that position by the finishing line. And then someone went off behind him. That was Bradley. Miss Bradley. Unfortunately, we don't have quite a lot of people signing up today, which is unfortunate. Really quite unfortunate. Anyway, some championship standings. Leading the pack is Kane, but right behind him, on the exact same number of points, is his teammate Ivan, after winning the race, rather chaotic race last time out. Pookie is third in the championship, only 3 points ahead of Lennart, who is only 3 points ahead of Hyper in the other Mercedes. Red Bull have quite a significant margin in the constructor standings. That's 48 points ahead of Mercedes, who are only 12 points ahead of Alfa Romeo. It's been kind of a three-horse race here in the series so far. So, we're moving into qualifying 1. It should be full qualifying here. Hang on. There we go. Just gotta make sure that things are working correctly. Oh, there we go. Oh, we do have 15 people at least, though, so there's that. Being that it's only 15, though, all people have to do is just set a single flying lap, and that's enough. Is it just me, or does the track look a bit simple? I don't know. It's been a while since I've been on the game. Let's bring up the lap data and the maps. So the first man out, it looks like it was Ivan Hafterkamp in the Red Bull, last week's race winner. I'm hoping to continue that momentum this week. However, it might well be another race between Kane and Lennart. Of course, was that? No, it was Jari Fitz, yes. Jari Fitz, I don't think he's here today. Not certain if he's was able to join, or if he's left, or whatever. Not entirely certain. As we watch Ivan now, the first man out on track. First man to start a flying lap, that is. Just brief moment. There's gonna be a brief black screen here, as I remember to switch the streaming software to performance mode. There we go. Going through, that's Brooklands, isn't it? And now this is Luffield, isn't it? I need to pull up a track map again, don't I? All a bit wobbly on the exit of Luffield there to go through Woodcut down towards Cops. The last time a Red Bull went through this corner, it went sideways because of the Mercedes on the inside. But this time, no Mercedes to be seen. Going through Maggots and Beckett's, Sector 2 time is a 103.181. Not certain if that's a good time. We've got a yellow flag. That's probably Ben Dixon slowing down to give the Aston Martin ahead and the ability to get further ahead. Bit of space between him. Dirty air is still, of course, a thing. That dirty, dirty, dirty air. And across the line with a 127.048 for Ivan. And almost exactly a second behind is Aiden in the Williams. Next across the line, it's going to be Dan Edwin, who's gone a bit slower through Sector 2. In fact, I think about an entire second slower. So not quite the best lap for Dan Edwin here. Another brief screen. It looks fine. Sorry, I just need to make sure that I haven't messed things up somewhere. So we missed that end of the lap there. I just had to make sure that things are working properly. Dan Edwin at 127.939, and almost exactly a second faster is Kane in the second Red Bull, who's managed to mess up the in lap, but that's fine, it's just the in lap. Rob crossed the line in 127.345. And Faco has not had a representative lap time, so Ryan Kennedy now has split the Red Bulls. 127.023 in the Aston Martin. And someone is advertising on the channel. Ignore the Impaler BH guy. Who else? We've got Dirk, he's invalidated. Pookie has not invalidated, however. He's going through the old start-finish straight. Shush phone. Through Cops now. And then into Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, that's a lovely camera, isn't it? Couldn't see anything. Oh, bit of a... That looked a bit close between the Williams and the Alfa Romeo there. I think that was Rob going past Leonard, I think. Through Stowe for Pookie. And then to Vale. I didn't catch what his Sector 2 time was. This might be a good lap, it might not be. It's actually 3,000ths slower than Ivan's time, so not a shabby lap by any means. Pardon me. About a 1/10 of a second behind Kane, which isn't a lot of time if you think about it. Next, it's going to be Ben Dixon. What's he going to do? 127.483. It's a bit slower, about 5/10 off pole. Next up, it's going to be Dirk, but he did invalidate, so he's going to have to go for another attempt. Leonard and Hyper on outlaps. Faco in the pits, actually, so that must have been Faco who was at Rogue Alfa Romeo we saw. Leonard on his outlap at the minute. He's going to be using up his medium tyres even. That's the old 2018 tyre knowledge coming to light there. The yellow stripe tyres used to be the soft tyres, now they are the mediums. White tyres used to be the mediums, now they're the hards, and the red tyres used to be the super softs, now they're the softs. So Sector 1 time for Leonard is going to be, I reckon, about a 27.6 as it goes through Brooklands and Luffield now. Which bit's farm? I don't remember. I seem to remember that what is or was a corner on this track called Farm. I don't remember where it is. Never mind. I'll just stick to the ones I know. Into Maggots and Beckett as Ben Dixon goes fastest, 126.871 in the AlphaTauri. It doesn't really matter. All people have to do is get a lap time in and he can just proceed on to the next qualifying session. Oh, bit on the grass there for Leonard, as he tries to extend the track as much as he can. Down hard on the brakes into Vale, and touching the sausage curbs on the inside of the chicane. Dirk is retired. He's happy with the lap, I suppose. Doesn't really matter, he just had to set a lap time. Leonard has gone 1:27.4 on the mediums. And just coming out now. Hyper on his... this has to be a visual bug. Unless it is raining for Hyper? Hyper is on the intermediates. At least that's how it looks for me. He is definitely going very slowly. Which probably means that this isn't a visual bug. He is... well, either it's raining on his screen, or he has taken the intermediates for a laugh. I mean, he's managed to go faster than Faco, but Faco's lap was not representative. What is he doing? I don't understand this. Ooh, we've had a disconnection for Pookie. Hanges is making way for a Red Bull. That was Ivan. He's gone on an outlap. He's on the soft tyres. Let's take a brief look at the tyres. So Dirk went on the inters as well? That's odd. I mean, if they're using up the inters, then that probably means there's not going to be any rain in the race. Oh, migrating host. We might have a restart on our hands. Let's briefly look at the what's going on. As Leonard has left the session. Pookie left it as well. Not seeing anyone saying restart or anything. Could just be that Leonard had a disconnection, and he's rejoined. So I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why two drivers went out on inters except for possibly for laughs. Because it's funny. But why? Yeah. Bit of an odd one. Anyway, we'll ride with Hanges here. 104 through the second sector. Not the greatest time we've seen so far. Goes through Stowe. Didn't look too fast through there, but maybe that's a perspective thing. Into Vale, misses the sausage curbs as Ivan now goes fastest by about 0.04 of a second. And Hanges manages to go into the 128s, but he's 0.6 off of Aiden. If this was Q2, that would not be good enough to get him into the top 10, but it's only Q1, so it doesn't really matter. He just needs to set a lap time. In fact, now that everyone has set a lap time, people can just retire. There's no 107% rule here, so Faco should get in. There's only 14 drivers. I don't know why it said there was 15, but it has a bit of a habit of doing that. It thinks that the last person at the bottom is like 15 or something, and even though it's not, so it will skip out a number or two. Bit of an odd one. Kane was going for another attempt, but he's invalidated. Possibly hasn't realised he's invalidated. Does sound like he's still going. Still giving it full whack. Red Bull ahead, that's Ivan. Is he going to try and get a slipstream? A better one, but yeah, I don't think Kane realizes he's invalidated. He's still going. And goes straight into the pits. So that's probably when you realize, oh wait, I have invalidated. And both the Red Bulls coming in now. Personally, I think everyone should be coming in because everyone says at lap time, you'll get through. $141.5. Like, I was wondering why you went on Inter. So I thought maybe that maybe you had rain on your screen, but for no one else. But now it seems that it does seem that you've just done it for laughs. That was not going to help you out if there's rain in the race, but saving dry tires, yeah. So that probably means it's going to be a dry race. Unfortunately, that's something that the spectator still cannot tell. So, we might not get a repeat of Pookie's victory here last year. As Pookie was insane in the wet. But it's going to be dry, so who knows. Ooh, bit of lag there. Hopefully that's not on my end. Does appear to have just been on Aiden's end as we look at Hanges, and he's not jumping all over the place. What is Hanges going to do as he does touch the sausage curbs on this attempt? A little bit wide there, though. Might be an improvement. It is, in fact, by exactly the margin, almost exactly the margin he needed to get into an exact 128. 128.040, so he's 300ths off of Aiden. Which isn't bad, I suppose. Aiden's invalidated. We've got Nitro Shooter, who we've not really been paying much attention to. He's still got the default number. He's on an outlap as well. Is anyone going to try go for another attempt? I don't think Hanges has the time to get round for another attempt. Maybe, maybe not. Aiden is going to come in. Nitro Shooter, given that he's on an outlap, is going to go for another attempt almost certainly. Bit of a funky engine note there. And the Aston Martin. Is he going to come in? Nope. As I thought so. He's going to go for another attempt. I don't know why he's waiting. There's no cars in front of him. So he crosses the line to start his final flying lap of the session. Meanwhile, Hanges is coming in. So Nitro Shooter probably going to try and get the fastest time, but it's probably only going to be for glory here. Just for a bit of glory. You're not going to get any other actually get pole position. Through Luffield. And down towards Woodcut. Cuts across a little bit of the inside there. I can't remember what they call that bit of the track. The infield, maybe. That's maybe an American term. Into Maggots and Beckett's foot to the floor, pretty much. It's a corner of... It's a sequence of corners that I've had difficulty on in this game. I don't know why I just can't seem to get Maggots and Beckett's to hook up so well on 2021. It felt so much better on F1 2020, but things happen. It's not the greatest. Oh, what's it gonna do? It is a 126. Not certain if it was the fastest time. Doesn't tell you anymore. Why would you want to know? He did improve. Oh, it was just outside. Just a bit too slow to be a 126, but 127.0. Going to show what he can do, I suppose, but that's still almost 2/10 off of Ivan's best time here. Dirk apparently didn't use tyres on his run, so odd. But it's time to move on to Q2, and this time people will actually be driving in anger. 4 people can be knocked out today. Well, not today. In this session. It's just a question of who those drivers are going to be. And with Pookie, was it? No, Pookie Hyper using inters to save on his dry tyres, he has about as many opportunities to set a fast lap as you would like, really. So, that's odd. There's no, it doesn't show who the drivers are above the garages anymore. That's weird. His first man out on track is going to be Nitro Shooter, followed closely behind by Rob, followed by Dirk. So the top 3, not necessarily in that order. Top 3 on the board at the moment. Not certain why they're in that order, but it's a game. It doesn't really matter. Handjets coming out as well as the other Aston Martin of Ryan Kennedy, the other Ferrari of Dan Edwin, the sole AlphaTauri of Ben Dixon, and at least one of the Red Bulls. Which Red Bull is that? It's not Kane, it's Ivan Haftekamp, followed by Faco. Oh, Faco and Leonard. So both of the Alfa Romeos going for, well, obviously going to try and get good attempt. I can't speak today. All my words are muddled and in the wrong order. Not certain what's going on. Is anyone on mediums? Oh, that's not something you want to see. That's Leonard trying to warm his tyres, and he's probably scrubbed that set a bit too much. So 4 drivers are going to attempt on the mediums. Ryan, Ivan, Pookie, and Ben Dixon. But this driver, Nitro Shooter, is not on the mediums, he's on the softs. As he goes through Village. I don't remember these corners because they didn't exist 20 years ago. I can tell you where Bridge is, it's just not in this part of the track anymore. It's not been raced on since 2009. Into Brooklands, and then into Luffield. Need to not concern myself too much with the names of the corners, but I know the names better than I do the numbers. Woodcut now. There used to be a chicane at Woodcut, would you believe? Wasn't much of a chicane though. Into Cops. Absolutely flat through there. Didn't seem like there was much of a lift, if any. Yellow flag, that's a Red Bull making way for someone. We'll go into Maggots and Beckett's. Absolutely nailed that sequence. Much better than I could do.
And I think the Williams behind has invalidated. That's Rob, isn't it? Yes. So Rob has invalidated. Nitro Shooter hasn't. As he goes into Vale now. And he's just kissing the curbs. Doing it really quite well there. And he goes across the line. And the benchmark is a 127.4. Not the best time. Certainly not the best time he... Yeah, not as good as the time he got in the previous session. Ryan Kennedy, his teammate, will be next with a valid lap. He's on the mediums, so he might be a bit slower than Nitro. There's also both of the Ferraris behind, nearly called them Red Bulls. Ryan goes 4 tenths faster, actually. And Dan Edwin goes... oh my god. 0.015 faster than Ryan. Hengis is next. He's quite a ways off, even on the soft tyres, only a 128.1. He's not going to be happy with that. Faco now sets the new benchmark with a 126.7, 3 tenths faster than Dan Edwin. And Leonard is not far behind with a 126.8. Where's Ben Dixon going to be as he comes through the final corner? It's not a representative lap time, it's only a 158. Same with Ivan. I think they've gone for a double warm-up lap, these two, Ivan and Ben Dixon. Yellow flag, that's Alfa Romeo making way for a... Oh! What the hell was that? I don't think there's been any damage there, but that was odd from Pookie. Let's hope his wheel malfunctioned. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, so... Hyper now, going through Maggots and Beckett's. He's on the soft tyres as well. Majority of the drivers are on the softs, clipping the grass as he exits Beckett's. Down the hangar straight towards Stowe. DRS wide open. And then it slams shut as we do the hard right through Stowe. Kane has gone 2 tenths faster than Faco, so we set the new benchmark for Q2. And now Hyper coming through the final corner and across the line. Oh, it's only P6, 127.3. Ivan does set a 127.0, exactly 127. So that's not a bad time. Ben Dixon also improves. It's also a 127, but only a 0.6. So, not the greatest time for our friend in the AlphaTauri. Pookie, meanwhile, 103.4 through Sector 2. It's not a bad time. Especially as he's on the mediums. I'm sorry, I'm sniffing a lot, though. I feel almost bunged up. That's weird. Into Vale. Ooh, bit of a... not so much of a kiss than a smack on the inside curb there. Hengis is retired. He's not happy, I think. 127.1 for Pookie. So the Mercedes, at the moment, locking out this, what would be the 4th row of the grid. Not going to end up that way, though. Hyper, 2 tenths up on his previous best now. As he goes through Stowe, down towards Vale. And that's not kissing the sausage curbs. That's actually quite almost perfect, I reckon. Across the line, 127.066. It is an improvement, but it's not enough to move him up the grid. Next, it will be Ivan. No, he's on a cooldown lap. So that means it will probably be Rob who's going to get the next lap time on the board. Also, with the default number, he's also got the default helmet. You've got customization options for a reason, you know? You could liven up your car a bit. Manages to go P10 with a 127.5. That means, at the moment, there's only one driver who hasn't set a lap time yet, and that's Aiden, his teammate. I think what's happened with Aiden is he's invalidated his lap.
Where is he gone? There.
Yes, that's an invalidated lap time. 1:27.9 would put him 13th.
So, wasn't a particularly good lap anyway.
We've got Hyper once again. Yeah, he did actually improve his position, didn't he? He was behind Pookie, wasn't he?
But now he's ahead.
But only one position. It's still Mercedes locking out the 4th row. Pookie on an out lap, or actually it's probably an in lap actually. And then Ben Dixon is on an out lap. Used to be car number 8, he's now car number 36. Was the number that Antonio Giovinazzi raced with in his only 2 appearances in 2017, when he raced for Sauber, replacing Pascal Wehrlein, who is a driver who should have had so much more time in Formula 1, but,
well, money speaks, I guess.
Sauber decided to kick out Wehrlein instead of Marcus Ericsson, who
was just rubbish.
They were doing that a lot in the mid 2010s, kicking out good drivers and keeping on
rubbish drivers, even though they weren't really giving much money. They got rid of Felipe Nasr, who scored more points than Marcus Ericsson. They got rid of Pascal Wehrlein. It's just... Anyway, Ben Dixon
going through the final corner to start his flying lap. Probably, will it be his final attempt? Who knows? Into Village now. It's a rather tricky set of corners, this one. It's one that I can never really seem to get perfect, or even get right on at the best of times. Sector 1 time is going to be 27.4, so it is an improvement on his end, but I don't think it's a great Sector 1 time. Still 2/10 up. He is in the danger zone at the moment. Through Woodcut and down towards Copse, the old turn 1. Should still be turn 1 if you ask me, but Bernie Eccleston decided, no, you need to change the layout of this track or we won't race here anymore.
And so Silverstone was eternally ruined. Anyway.
Through Maggots and Beckett's, he's 7/10 up on his previous best, so 103.1 in Sector 2. Down to Stowe. Nicely does it. Didn't look too happy through the exit there. As it goes into Vale now. Bit of a touch on the sausage curbs. Don't want to touch them too much as he goes into the 126s. And that's enough for P4. Almost exactly a 10th ahead of Ivan. And does Ivan feel safe? Well, Kane feels safe. But what about Ivan? 127 exactly. You need to set that time on the mediums. He's currently got the softs selected.
And it does look like he's going to be coming out.
Ooh. That was a bit funky. So Ivan is making his way out of the pits. He's deciding he's going to try and defend his time. Rob and Dirk, meanwhile, have to improve their times here. Otherwise, they're going to be knocked out.
Dirk currently has a 127.576.
Rob currently has a 127.529. And Nitro Shooter and Pookie at risk. Actually, not Pookie, just Nitro Shooter, I reckon. Pookie potentially, but it's Nitro, Rob, and Dirk who needs to improve by a minimum of 0.4 of a second. Pardon me. so oddly bunged up. It's weird. Anyway, Dirk going through cops. That was a funny angle. Kill the cameraman, apparently. Into Maggots and Beckett's. Keep the foot on the foot flat to the floor. Left off through Beckett's. That's the slower one. Oh, a bit too much onto the grass there, I think. He is 3/10 up, but how much will that slight adventure onto the grass hamper him? Nice and tight through Stowe towards Vale now. And didn't look too hooked up. Doesn't look too hooked up through Vale. Car wanted to go sideways. He does improve, but he lost a bit of time. So he does go P10. And that's going to have to suffice for now. And he's got to hope that Nitro Shooter and Rob don't improve. Rob has just started his lap time, as does Nitro Shooter. Aiden has not actually left the pits. So Aiden is not going to get a lap time in. Oh, Rob has actually retired. What happened? I think he potentially lost the rear end out of the corner there, and he's thrown his chances of getting into the top 10 away. So that means Nitro Shooter is the only person who can threaten Dirk and Pookie. Pookie, though, is out. He's just behind Nitro Shooter. Hyper is on the mediums, but is he going to try and give a slipstream to Pookie? Potentially, as he allows the Aston Martin to go through. I think we're going to see a bit of slipstreaming from the Mercedes. Indeed we are. Pookie is going to get a bit of a slipstream from Hyper. But Pookie is a second down. So Pookie will not improve. I think he's been thrown off by Hyper. So Nitro, what can he do? Well, Pookie actually, I've just realised, Pookie can't be knocked out. But Dirk can, as Nitro Shooter goes into the 126.9s. And Ivan realises he doesn't need to improve his lap time. So he goes straight back into the pits. Which means his best lap time was set on... was set on medium tyres, so he'll start on the mediums, as will Ryan, as will Pookie. So Pookie, once again, gonna get that alternate strategy that he so adores. And that was Dan Edwin, not managing to improve. I think he's probably already finished anyway. So there we go. The four drivers who have been knocked out are Dirk, Rob, Hanges, and Aiden. Not certain why Aiden didn't go out. Maybe he had a real-life commitment to... Yeah, something in real life that he had to do, but... who knows? He didn't get a proper lap time in. I think all he did was set one invalidated lap time, and that was it. Wouldn't have been... Yeah, it would only have been enough for P13 anyway, so it wouldn't really have changed much at all.
I think I know what needs to happen while I'm a bit bunged up. Probably need to change my bed linen a bit. And so we move into Q3, where we will decide the top 10 of the grid, and of course, pole position.
And pole position is looking like it's going to be quite hard I can't think of the words. Contested. I'll just say that. I know contested was one of the words I wanted to use,
but I couldn't think of the other words. Very contested. Hardly contested. Hardly doesn't is actually makes it sound like it's not contested at all. Just, uh. We're just waiting for Dirk to load. Oh, we lost Dirk.
not to worry, as long as he can rejoin. And it doesn't really matter too much, as he's not in Q3, so he's got about 12 minutes to get back in. So Nitro Shooter, once again, going to be the first man out on track. Nitro Shooter, maybe you're Colin Hoganberg in disguise. Could Colin like to be the first man out on track? Dan Edwin, right behind. Got something light blue. Actually, no, that's not light blue. That's the other Aston Martin, coupled with the Red Bull just behind, gives you the impression that it's a light blue. So, Kane and Faco have not left the pits, which possibly means they don't have enough tyres left. And that's something that Hyper foresaw, or made sure that wouldn't happen, as he did use intermediates in Q1, just to set a lap time, and save the dry tyres for later. And that's something that possibly could happen with other drivers in future. Don't want to use up the dry tyres when you could just use your inters if you know it's going to be a dry session. Faco has left the pits now. He's giving everyone a wide berth. Kane, though, still in the pits. Potentially doesn't have enough tyres to play with. So Nitro Shooter should be the first driver to set the benchmark here. Goes across the line now to start his first flying lap of the session. Kane is coming out of the pits now. He's going to try and give a slipstream to Ivan. I don't know. Might be. Looks that way. Kane has come out just in time. So there will be a bit of a slipstream for Ivan going down the Wellington Straight. So this should help Ivan quite a bit. And it gets out of the way, dives to the left. And that's the teamwork done for now. Of course, he just has to get out of the way of the two Mercedes now. Faco isn't going to get the same treatment from his teammate Lennart, who is miles up the road, entering Luffield right now. Nitro Shooter onto the hangar straight already, courtesy of his massive gap. He was the first to leave the garage. Going through Stowe, looks fairly planted. Into Vale, clips the sausage curb. Not certain if it's faster or not. Might be. And the benchmark is actually a fairly decent 126.7. What can Ivan do? Oh, he gets a bit of a wheel spin on the exit. That's not going to help him, but it does. He does actually get the provisional pole at the minute. Pookie's gone 126.9. Ryan Kennedy now takes provisional pole away from Ivan with a 126.6. Dan Edwin can only manage 126.7. Lennart the same, just thousandths behind Dan Edwin. And Ben Dixon just on the cusp of a 1:26.8. Ever so slightly faster. Kane and Faco, meanwhile. Now, Kane might potentially get a slipstream from Ivan down the line. There's still plenty of time for that to happen. Faco, meanwhile, no such luck. I need to turn the lap data back on as Faco now goes. What is that lap time? 1:26.3. He didn't have a slipstream or anything. He's done that all of his own. That's incredible. There's a car gone off at Cops. That's Dan Edwin. And Ivan, I think, trying to slow down for Kane, but it's not gonna. He's mistimed it probably. 103.0 through Sector 2 for Kane. He's gonna have no slipstream from his teammate like he gave to Ivan. Into Vale now. Ooh, bit of a visual bug there. Bit of a teleport, maybe. And Kane is going to do a 1:26.5, so it's enough for P2, but still, that's about 2/10 off of Faco there, which is really quite remarkable that Faco did that without any assistance from its teammate, but maybe all he needed was some clean air, and it certainly seems to have worked dividends. So Ivan was potentially on for a good lap time there, but he got a bit sideways at oh, I can't remember the name of the corner. At Vale, the exit of Vale. And that certainly hampered his lap time a bit. Was enough to at least get him ahead of Dan Edwin, but who knows what that time could have been. Could have been very fast indeed. So 5 minutes of the session left. Should be seeing everyone coming into the pits here. There we go. Mercedes and Red Bull. Right, but one behind the other. And everyone should be coming out of the pits again around the 3-minute mark, I reckon. Plenty of time for everyone to alter their setups as much as they can if they need to. Switch tyres. Dirk has managed to get back in. There we go. So he should be able to take his rightful place in the grid. So current provisional grid as it stands at the moment is Faco, Kane, Ryan, Hyper, Ivan, Dan Edwin, Leonard, Nitro, Ben Dixon, and Pookie. Pookie not having the best of laps here. 1:26.9. He's almost pretty much a 10th off of Ben Dixon. So he's going out again to see what he can do with the clean air. Certainly, he's capable of more than just a 1:26.9. He'll be joined on track momentarily by Leonard and one of the Aston Martins, I believe. That's Nitro Shooter again. And the cars are starting to file out. The rest of the grid should be joining momentarily. Well, should be anyway. I think they're going to wait as long as they can and we'll get all the cars coming out at once. There's the other Aston Martin, that's Ryan Kennedy making his move. And the other Mercedes of Hyper also coming out. The Ferrari of Dan Edwin. Now that looks like Hyper potentially going to try and give a slipstream to Pookie. That's Kane coming out as well now, as well as Ivan. So Pookie coming out, and I think there's been a bit of a mistiming here. Hyper is not ahead of Pookie. In fact, he comes out behind Pookie, so they've misjudged the time as it will take Hyper to get out. Pookie apparently on a timed lap. Oh yes, in fact, yeah. Of course he's on a timed lap. He was the first man to come out. Yeah, sometimes I need to pay attention. Or, remember. It would be nice if I could remember some things. Sometimes I forget. I do such mundane things like forgetting keys in the door. That's all something I don't like doing. Didn't catch what his Sector 1 time was, but the Sector 2 time, if it's a low 103, should be decent. It should be a decent lap anyway. And he's going to do a 102.8, so he's 0.6 faster than his previous best. So that should boot him up the grid a fair amount. Fairly tight through Stowe. And then through Vale, he's got a bit of an Aston Martin to contend with, as well as a bit of a lock-up. Fortunately, the car does look fairly planted, and he's going to go provisional pole, 126.349. Essentially 300ths faster than Faco. Next, it's going to be Lennart. Clips the grass a little bit as he enters Stowe. Looking absolutely rapid. Into Vale now. What's he going to be able to do? It might be a fast time, it might not be. I don't think he's going to do it. No, he does go slightly slower than his teammate Faco, so that does at least get him into third. Faco, though, going to try and defend his pole position. Or provisional pole. Nitro Shooter has managed to... Has he managed to go faster? I don't know. Potentially. In fact, yes, I think he has. 126.709. Everyone out on track now. Ben Dixon... Who's going to be next? I think it will be Ryan Kennedy. He has gone slightly faster through Sector 2, but I think he's more or less at his limit here. He's gone about as fast as he can. He might not break this 126.6. He does, actually. He manages to make up time through the third sector. Oh, and Hyper's invalidated, so he's going to go straight back in. Who's going to be next? Dan Edwin has also invalidated. That's a disaster for him. Kane is going to be next. He's 0.2 up through Sector 2. Go through the final corner now. He comes across the line. He goes provisional pole by, about 0.13 of a second. Very fast. At least a 10th faster. Faco does manage to improve, but he's 100th off of Kane. Nitro Shooter's coming in. Ivan Hafterkamp can only improve to 5th. 126.429. Which means the only person... Nope, in fact, Ben Dixon does improve, but it's not enough. Which means Kane has pole position ahead of Faco, ahead of Pookie, and ahead of Lennart. So, yeah, there we go. Kane has pole ahead of Faco. That's your top three. Very close margin between Kane and Faco here. And Kane looking for potentially his first championship. If he can keep up his lead here, he can pull ahead of his teammate Ivan and potentially win the championship. But we're only at round 6. We've got a few more rounds to go. So there we go. Kane, Faco, Pookie, Leonard, Ivan, Ryan, Hyper, Bendixson, Nitro, and Dan Edwin, who unfortunately wasn't able to improve as he invalidated his final flying lap. So we move on to the race. Rob, I think, is 12th. So we should have a 14-car grid. I don't think anyone's has joined since we opened the lobby, which is unfortunate. We did have full grids at one point, and we just lost all of that. But we should get players again with the new game whenever that comes out. Yes, Rob is 12th, in case you were wanting to know. Oh, 14 cars. Yeah, if real F1 ever gets to that level, it won't be the same sport. It'll be a very sad sport. At the minute, we've only got 14 drivers in our league. Well, in this session anyway. Not in the league as a whole. We've got plenty of drivers in the league. It's just that people aren't bothering to sign up to the races, which isn't nice. It's nice to have lots of drivers. It's not nice to have very few. But what that does do is it allows 2 or 3 teams who do have a more or less permanent set of drivers to pull further ahead in the constructors and the drivers' championships. And yeah, because the top 3 teams in the constructors have more than 100 points each, and then it's a massive gap to Ferrari down below, who only have about 27. I think Han just had a spin. Anyway, let's take a brief look at the tyres. So, Kane, Faco, Leonard, Hyper through Dirk, and Aiden all starting on soft tyres. Pookie, Ivan, Ryan, Rob, and Hanges all starting on mediums. So, we'll have to see how things go. Ooh, how has Aiden got... Oh no, that isn't Aiden, that's Rob who's deciding that, I want to be first. This will give me pole position, won't it? Not quite. So the grid lining up. Hopefully, for the only time this night. Who knows, we might have disconnection issues of some sort, but with any luck, we won't. And the final cars line up. And the lights come on, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go. And I don't think Kane has had a good start. Actually, no, he has had an excellent start. It looked like it was Faco who didn't have a good start there. We got any chaos behind? No, Kane already got a significant margin ahead of Faco. And we do have a bit of what's the word? Squabbling further down the field. We've got all sorts of position change markers. There's definitely been some cars doing things. Handges is up into 10th. Hyper has had a horrific start. He's down into 14th already, as well as Pookie. He started 3rd. He's already in 9th. I didn't catch what happened to Pookie there. It's gone absolutely double disaster for Mercedes. And now it's both of the Alfa Romeos and both of the Red Bulls. It's kind of like the first couple of rounds of the season. We've got both Red Bulls and Alfa Romeos fighting for the top 4 positions. But it's a bit of a distant fight for Ivan, who's already 1.2 seconds away from Lennart. Oh, we got a spin. That's Dirk. He's spun and crashed at Cops. We've got a yellow flag. Ryan Kennedy has lost an end plate on his Aston Martin. He's going to have to pit for a brand new front wing. Ivan falling ever further behind Lennart. And now it's up to Faco and Lennart to try and get past Kane, who isn't as safe as I thought he was. Rob is now pitting. He's got damage. Aiden is pitting as well. There's definitely been a bit of squabbling down the field, and it's not paid out. It's not gone very well for either of the Williams or one of the Aston Martins. Nitro Shooter, I think, is down a few positions as well. Dan Edwin is up into 6th. So Dan Edwin up 4 positions. Pookie is now in 8th by virtue of potentially getting past someone. Hyper is no longer at the back of the field after Dirk crashed and Rob, Aiden and Ryan have pit. Nitro Shooter is actually up 2 positions, my mistake. And Ryan down 6 positions, so it's been a nightmare start for him as well. Ivan is back into 5th place. Something's gone wrong for Ivan here. He's been passed by Ben Dixon. He is, however, on the alternate strategy. So that's probably why his pace isn't as good as the drivers ahead. They're all on the soft tyres. So Ivan on the alternate strategy. Faco, meanwhile, losing a bit of touch to Kane ahead. This is not an easy track to make an overtake on. Silverstone got too many bends to make that possible, as Kane now sets the fastest lap, 1:29.3. We do, however, should have the DRS. Yes, indeed, we do have the DRS enabled, and Faco is within that crucial 1 second margin. Lennart is as well, so the 2 Alfa Romeos should be able to make some decent inroads. Kane has actually had great traction outside of Village, out of Village even, but without the DRS, he's now potentially a sitting duck. He's going to lose time to the Alfa Romeos behind. Meanwhile, Pookie is going to try and make his moves on Nitro Shooter and Dan Edwin. He's in the back of a train here. It's going to be a bit of a DRS train. He's got to make up those positions again. It does seem that he's got a much faster car. We've got a yellow flag. That's Rob, who's had a crash outside of the pit lane. But that brings out a virtual safety car. What's happened to Rob? Yep, he's spun at the first corner. It's caught him out. It's only a virtual safety car, though, so we don't get the field bunched up again. Is Kane going to pit? No. Is anyone going to pit? I doubt it. This has unfortunately not worked out well for the Alfa Romeos, as they were outside of a second. Faco has to go off track to try and keep up. And Faco gets a time penalty for going off the track, so he's messed up royally, but he can still try and get ahead of Kane. We've got another car that's gone off. That's Nitro Shooter. The turn 1 is catching a few people out. Kane still not safe to Faco and Lennart behind. And Ivan does have the DRS on Ben Dixon, who's put 2.2 seconds off of Lennart. The 2 Alfa Romeos, meanwhile, still within reach of Kane, keeping that Red Bull honest. You could almost paint those Alfa Romeos black and teal, and you'd get the essentially a Verham bot situation. Kane now just a little over 5/10 ahead of Faco. And Faco has the DRS. He's not going to be able to make the move on this occasion, but he's able to close up a hell of a lot of distance. Of course, with that 3-second penalty over his head, it means that even if he gets ahead of Kane, he has to pull ahead by another 3 seconds to make sure that his position is safe. Leonard sets the fastest lap. That's the advantage of the DRS. And this looks like it's going to be one hell of a battle for the lead. We've got a bit of a train from positions 4 to 7. It's Ben Dixon, Ivan, Dan Edwin, and Pookie as Ivan gets past Ben Dixon, who's had a spin out in the village section. So now that puts Ivan in danger. He does have the DRS, but now he's got to try and catch up. He's 3.4 seconds off of Leonard. And Faco, does Faco potentially have a bit of damage? I don't think so. But he's just not able to keep up to Kane as much as he would like. It seems that Leonard has the better race car today. Faco, though, is managing to catch up a bit. He's got the slipstream. Does he have less downforce than Kane? Possibly. He's got the DRS again. How much can he catch up by? Enough. It might be enough. He's going to make the move. He's going to go up the inside at Stowe. It's not quite the fake-out move that we saw Mansell pull on PK back in 1987, but it was enough to allow Faco to get past his rival, and now he has to try and go much more than just 3/10 ahead of Kane. He's got to get 3 seconds ahead. What can Leonard do now, as Kane is going to get the DRS off of Faco? And well, it depends how much downforce these guys have. Kane is not going to make it easy for Faco. He's right up the chuff of that Alfa Romeo. And I don't think Faco is going to be able to hold on to the position. Look at this squabble. Kane is going up the inside at Brooklands. Faco has to settle once again for P2. This is an almighty scrap for P1. Oh, is that damage? No, it's not damage. Faco, I thought I saw a missing end plate. No, it's just a bit funky looking. Faco, though, is much closer to Kane on this occasion. Through Maggots and Beckett's, it does appear that the Alfa Romeo is faster in a straight line than the Red Bull. But he's going to have to hold off a little bit through Beckett's. But now he's going to get the DRS again, and once again, Kane is not really going to be able to fight it much. But Faco has to use a bit of his DRS to get ahead, and he's just not as far ahead as he would probably have liked. I think Kane did defend a bit with his ERS. Down the field, meanwhile, we've got Dan Edwin right behind Ivan. And I reckon that the soft tyres are going to be feeling a bit second-hand right now. We're 7 laps into the race. And Dan Edwin just isn't able to make the same moves on Ivan. He is catching up a little bit, but it's sort of plateaued around 0.5 of a second. And as you can see, he's actually lost 2 seconds through these pair of corners here. 0.2 even. So yeah, the softs definitely going off. Kane meanwhile has not been able to get back past Faco on this occasion, but he will have the DRS down the hangar straight. But what can Faco do? Can he build that gap any further? It does look like it. He's gaining a little bit. It's hard to tell. Sort of around the high 0.4 margin. In fact, Kane is not doing so well through Beckett's. And so that means Kane probably isn't going to be able to make the move on this occasion. But with the DRS, he's still able to defend somewhat from Leonard behind him. Dan Edwin managed to catch up to Ivan a bit, but not enough. And that's Pookie right behind, so he's managed to get past. I think there's been a few more pitting cars, I'm not certain. As Hanges is down in 10th place, so he was much further ahead at one point, and now he's down in 10th. Pookie has managed to make up a lot of ground, and his medium tyres are going to be feeling a lot better than the soft tyres of Dan Edwin ahead. At least they should be. I'd be amazed if those soft tyres are still feeling, well, not brand new, but much better. Battle for the lead, meanwhile, is unchanged. Kane was unable to get past Faco. He's gonna try his luck, maybe through cops, potentially. No, he doesn't have the same enough speed. Not as a market difference. Oh, Faco's going off though. He's track extending. That's got to be a warning. So Faco not able to pull as far ahead of Kane as he would like. What is Kane going to do? He's got enough energy to play with it. In fact, yes, he does. He's got more than 40% energy. He's got the DRS as well. But unlike Faco, he's not using that energy to try and get past. Maybe he's quite happy here. Leonard is going to go for an undercut. Now, I don't know if the undercut is very powerful here. It might well be. And that... how scared of that is Kane going to be? Well, it does release some of that pressure off of him. He's got no car behind him that could potentially overtake, so now he's free to use his energy and his DRS to get past Faco to try and defend from that undercut. Onto the tyres, Leonard is going onto medium tyres. The soft tyres, I really doubt they're going to be feeling very nice. And Kane, much closer to Faco. He's going to have a bit of a slipstream. No, he's going to bait that toe a bit, maybe. He's not going to make a move up the inside like Hamilton. He's going to wait for the hanger straight. Through Maggots and Beckett's, he's got to lift off a little bit with the dirty air, but it's enough. 3/10. There's been a spin. I think that's hyper, potentially, as Kane makes that move look easy. And yet, I think that was hyper. He's had a bit of a mistake potentially through Village, so that's put him under threat from Ryan Kennedy. Faco is pitting now, so they're both going for the undercut. Kane is not coming in. Could this... Oh, we've got a spin. That's Ryan Kennedy. It's not going to be a virtual safety car or a full safety car. So it's potentially going to work out very nicely for the Alphas here. Where's Leonard going to be? Is he going to be ahead of Faco? Potentially. Does look like it. He's going through the first corner now. Yes, indeed. So Leonard has got the undercut on his teammate, which was probably going to be where they were going to finish anyway with Faco's 3-second penalty. But that means that they're going to be catching up somewhat to Kane. They'll probably have slightly older tyres than Kane, but it depends on what the Red Bull driver does. He's currently got a 4.2 second lead over his teammate Ivan, who has managed, to his credit, to keep Dan Edwin behind. But then again, Dan Edwin is on rather old soft tyres now, and he's more under threat from Pookie, who's also on the mediums. So there's a bit of a medium tyre sandwich here. Ooh. And that is Kane pitting now. So where is Leonard going to be? He's on the hanger straight right now. His teammate is right behind. And this could be crucial. Where is Kane going to be? He's already making his way out of the pits. We've got to see how this goes. Both Alfa Romeos on the start-finish straight. I don't think that he's going to do it. He's been undercut. Both of the Alfa Romeos going past him right now. That has not gone well for Kane. Both Alfa Romeos now in front. But to his credit, he was able to drive well enough to come out only just behind Faco. And Faco needs a bit of help from Lennart if he wants to get a bit of DRS. He did have DRS there, but he needs that ability to defend as Pookie now picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Ivan, Dan Edwin and Pookie probably going to want to pit at some point. We've got a car gone round. That's Aiden. He's spun around. Don't give us a safety car, please. There we go. We've just got a yellow flag as all. None of these three are pitting yet. Neither is Hangis. He finds himself in 4th place. What is Aiden doing? Has he spun again? Yeah, he must have done. He's cooked his rear tyres. He needs to go into the pits immediately. There we go. So effective battle for the lead is between Lennart, Faco and Kane. Faco cannot keep his effective position 2 at the minute, as he has that 3-second time penalty, but he is within DRS range of his teammate, which should allow him to defend from Kane, to essentially help defend Lennart as well. So with the DRS, what is Kane going to do? He's going to use his energy to try and get past Faco. Faco's using his energy as well. So Faco is defending. He is that rolling roadblock that Lennart needs. Roadblock? Roadblock. That's the word I was trying to use. And yeah, Faco, definitely that buffer Lennart needs to try and get ahead. Get far further ahead. What is Kane going to be able to do? He's much closer. He might be able to get past Faco here. Oh, and Dan Edwin has been passed by Pookie, so his soft tyres almost certainly falling off the cliff. And Kane is using the DRS and his energy. Faco defends to the inside. But Faco's messed up potentially. He goes wide at Stowe, allows Kane to go up the inside at Vale. Faco has done that. Oh no! Oh! And Kane gets pit maneuvered by Faco. That was a very close battle, and it's an absolute shame to see it end that way. I don't know how to call that. That was I want to call that a racing incident. I don't know if that's anyone's fault. I'm not really qualified to say whose fault that was, if anyone's. I'm just gonna leave that to the FIA to talk about. Kane got to be fuming with that, though. Nitro Shooter, meanwhile, very close to the rear end of Ben Dixon's AlphaTauri. The Aston Martin will have the DRS, whilst Ben Dixon will not. Though Nitro Shooter does have a penalty. I think that's only a 3-second. Yep, 3 seconds worth of penalties. It's not that hard to stay clean on this track, by the looks of things. Only 3 drivers have penalties, and one of those is Pookie. Oh, and Dan Edwin is pitting now. So he'll potentially get the undercut on Ivan and Pookie. And there's Nitro Shooter going past the AlphaTauri like it was, well, very easily. Oh, that was a bit sideways for Ben Dixon. So that will potentially hurt his tyres a bit. But now he will have the DRS through the Wellington straight. Meanwhile, Ivan and Pookie fighting, sort of. There's about 6 tenths between them. Ivan looks like he doesn't have the same straight line speed that Pookie does. And I think Pookie could get past Ivan here. But will he try and get an undercut on Ivan, or will Ivan try and get the undercut on Pookie? Whoa. Bit of a weave from Ivan, and yet Pookie is not close enough to capitalize. He's not using his energy either. He does catch up to Ivan, but they've gone 14 or so laps on these tyres, and neither of them are pitting. They have to pit eventually, though. They can't stay here. And they will have much fresher tyres, which could allow them to get past Leonard, Faco, and Kane very easily. And Kane actually under threat from Dan Edwin, who's come out of the pits on fresh medium tyres, and is getting past Kane. So that is the advantage of the... Oh, that was scary. Whew. Thought the game was crashing. Fortunately, it hasn't crashed. So Dan Edwin has got past Kane. What are his tyres? They are 3 laps younger than Kane's. So what can he do? Can he get further ahead? Well, Kane will have the DRS, but Dan Edwin will have the grip through the corners. This could prove crucial. Pookie meanwhile, is still fighting with Ivan, trying to get past. He's got the DRS. He's going to make the move now. And I think now that he's got ahead of Ivan, he's going to pull into the pits. That's what I think is going to happen. Yes, indeed. He goes into the pits. Ivan stays out. So that's what Pookie wants. And he's going to get essentially an undercut on Ivan. He will have fresher tyres, and Ivan's just got to do what he can. There we go. Onto soft tyres. But he'll get 10 laps. I think Pookie could be on for a win here. I don't think he was going to win, but he might well be on for the win. As Leonard goes past him through the pits. And he's on 6-lap-old mediums. He's got Hangers ahead, but the McLaren is on very old medium tyres. So he won't be too fast, but he will pit and get some very fresh tyres at some point. Same with Ivan. He's going through Maggots and Beckett's right now. He's got 20 seconds to Hangers behind, but crucially, is he ahead of Pookie? Could he? I'm not certain. It takes about 25 seconds to go through the pits here. That he might come out just ahead of Pookie. He pits now. Pookie's going through Maggots and Beckett's right now. He's got a bit of company. There's Dan Edwin and Kane behind him. He's on the hanger straight. He's going to hit Stowe in just a few moments. Ivan onto the soft tyres. It's a very slow pit lane here. Could Ivan do it? Oh, it's hard to say as Pookie's coming around the final corner now. Ivan is just coming in through the exit. He lights up the rear tyres. He's going for it. And it's neck and neck. He's just ahead, though. I think Pookie is fighting for it. And it does go to Pookie in the end. But who's going to have the DRS now? Oh, Ivan's cooking up the rear tyres. He does get the DRS now. He's right behind the Mercedes. I think this is going to be a potential victory for one of these two drivers. Leonard is right behind Hangers now for the actual lead of the race, but I think actual lead... I'm getting all my words mixed up. Actual lead of the race is going to go to Leonard within a few corners, but But I think it's going to be one of these two drivers, Pookie and Ivan, who might win. And what is Ivan going to do? Is he going to hang back behind Pookie? Pookie's not had the smoothest of Maggots and Beckets. He's lost a bit of time. Ivan gets the DRS. Pookie is not defending with the ERS. In fact, Ivan's going to hold back. He's going to wait a few more laps. He's showing Pookie, though, that he is there. He is right there. And Hanges pits now. So that is, it's currently an Alfa Romeo 1-2. Leonard gets the fastest lap of the race, 1:28.6. But what is Pookie going to do? Not fastest lap of the race. Same with Ivan. And now Dan Edwin and Kane are right behind. Ben Dixon gets fastest lap of the race now, 1:28.3. But it's going, one of the soft runners might get fastest lap. Pookie and Ivan. Ivan gets the DRS again. Is he going to hold off? Yes, indeed he does. He's going to hold off on the DRS until he absolutely needs it. Which might be in a few laps' time. He's so close to the rear end of that the Mercedes. Any closer and you'll get a Saudi Arabia situation. Oh. What's going on? Hyper and Faco? Well, Ivan's just gone off the track for some reason. Potentially a game issue for these two? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, is Ivan going to make the move now? He's going around the outside. Yes, he's going for it now. He's going to... What the hell? Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me we're having issues. I think Lennart has had a game crash. He's now losing time very fast to Faco, who also, I think, had a game crash. I'm not certain what's going on. Pookie, meanwhile, very close to Ivan. Sorry, I'm being thrown off a bit now. Like, Ivan is now catching up very, very fast to Faco. Faco is catching up incredibly fast to Lennart. Lennart, if you need a re-invite to the session, I'll happily give one to you. Because he's currently in essentially the lead of the race, but he's AI. It says he's playing again. Something's gone horribly wrong for Lennart. And Faco has to go off the track again. Ivan is going to find himself in the actual lead of the race, probably before he actually wants to be. He is catching up to Faco incredibly quickly, such as the advantage of fresh, soft tyres. But at some point, he's got to get past Faco and Lennart, who is just a ghost at the minute. And yeah, we can see Lennart is already 1.5 seconds down. But it's not really Lennart anymore, it's just a bot. Faco now coming through Village. Farm Village, whatever you call it. Will he get DRS? No, he won't get the DRS. Will anyone get DRS? Well, Pookie should be. But Ivan will potentially get a bit of a slipstream from Faco. He's defending, he's using up his energy to try and stay ahead of Pookie. It helps him for now. But he should be within DRS range of Faco. In fact, now he is within DRS range, so he'll get the DRS through Maggots and Beckets. And that will allow him at least to defend somewhat from Pookie. Faco, meanwhile, is going to also get the DRS off of his now disconnected teammate. Ryan Kennedy sets the fastest lap of the race at 1:27.9. Just within the 1:27s. And Faco is... Well, Faco may be in the actual lead of the race now, but he does have that 3-second time penalty, so it's essentially Ivan who is leading the race for the second time in a week. through penalties. So Ivan, phasing through Lennox Alfa Romeo now. He's going to get the DRS again, but will he hold off? I imagine he might. Or will he try and get ahead of Faco? Well, I think he's going to have to get ahead of Faco, as Faco's going to be so much slower. Oh, he's going to hold off as long as he can, though. He doesn't want to give Pookie the ability to catch up and get past. Ivan is going to have to make the move. Faco is too slow, especially the corners. That's going to allow Pookie to catch up and potentially get past. Pookie's going wide. I would have thought that would have given him a warning. Ivan, meanwhile, going to get the DRS. He's incredibly close to Faco. I don't think there's any way Faco could really defend from this. Or can he? Ivan's not pushing too much. He has the grip over Faco's mediums, but he's intentionally closing his DRS before the end of the straight. He wants Faco to be a bit of traffic. So he's going to pass Faco as a tactical point, probably, maybe on lap 25, the end of lap 25, and that will give him enough of an opportunity to stay ahead of Pookie, give Pookie a bit of traffic, but he is going to have to pass at some point. Maybe, in fact, I think he's going for it right now. He's going around the outside of Brooklands. In fact, no, has he messed that up? He's going around the outside of Luffield now. He's got to go past. He has to go past. Pookie is too close for comfort. All this is doing is delaying the inevitable. Pookie is going to get past unless Ivan overtakes Faco. He does want Faco to be that bit of traffic, but all this is doing is allowing Pookie to catch up. And he has to go for the overtake now. And Faco has run out of energy. Going around the outside. You've got to do this move. He's not able to do it. Going around the outside. Faco is desperate for the win as well, even if it's just gonna be on track. But this is holding up Ivan. It's not going to be... it's very, very tense at the minute. Ivan has to get past Faco, who doesn't have a lot of battery power left, and I think Ivan's going to have to use his battery to get past Faco at a strategic point, so that Faco forms a bit of traffic for Pookie. And I think he's got to go for the move now. He's going around the outside of Brooklands again. And this time, is he going to make it stick? Is there going to be contact? Yes, he's going to be ahead of Faco. And Faco is between the two now. So Faco will get the DRS off of... Oh, what's he doing? Is he lifting off? Why is he doing that? Did Ivan just intentionally allow himself to fall back behind Faco? I think that is what he's done. He's fallen behind Faco intentionally so that Pookie won't get the DRS, but he will get the DRS anyway, so he's going for the move again. Pookie, though, is right behind. He's going up the inside, and Faco is still going to be potentially ahead. Indeed, he is, and this is crucial. This is exactly what Ivan wants. If he can get a second ahead of Faco, he can get essentially a second ahead of Pookie. This is absolutely crucial for Ivan. How long can he keep up this lead? Well, Pookie has the lead, has the 3-second penalties as well. So Pookie absolutely had to get past Ivan. And I think his time has passed. Ivan is almost certainly going to be the race winner today. So it's been a nightmare for Kane, who, after contact with Lennart, finds himself in the depths of P5, which means he's going to have 90 points after the end of this race, but Ivan is going to be on 105. Depending on if he can get the fastest lap. Currently, fastest lap is for Ryan Kennedy. He won't get the bonus point for that. Unless he can... Well, he can't get past Handges. There's not enough time. Handges, meanwhile... Oh! Ryan Kennedy has just had a crash. So we won't be getting a safety car. But Ryan just crashed, so he's not getting anything from this race anyway. Ivan now. Okay, Pookie did get ahead of Faco. We need the interval back, but crucially, Ivan is more than 1.2 seconds ahead of Pookie. So, Ivan, coupled with that 3-second time penalty, is absolutely safe as Hyper comes into the pits and retires. Why? You are gonna get a point. Oh, migrating host. I think Lennart is still having issues. Yeah, Lennart's had massive issues of some description, so he will at least get points. He might get a P8 out of this through his bot, but that's really unfortunate for Lennart. Pookie and Faco, with their 3-second time penalties, means that neither of them are likely going to finish on the podium here, which probably means it's going to be Dan Edwin and Kane. So Kane probably won't get P5. He'll probably have P3. So he should potentially have 95 points instead of just 90. Yes, final lap begins now. Ivan has been trying to get fastest lap, I think, but it's not quite worked out. He's not got enough energy to play with. Pookie's used up all his energy as well. Their soft tyres are just a bit too old to play with. Got a yellow flag. That's Handges going slowly. He's run out of fuel, I think. He's either underfueled his car or just used up way too much. So Handges is probably going to have to wait until he gets lapped so that he can finish the race and not make us wait the 3 minutes for him to get round the track or for the session to expire. Fuel is definitely an issue for Faco as well. If he runs out of fuel, he could potentially lose the position whatever position he could get, which would be P5. He's got the DRS though. He's going to make a move on Pookie. This is unexpected. Pookie, he has now lost 3rd place on the road, which means that Pookie's going to finish P5. As Ivan once again gets an unexpected victory. Faco and Pookie, yep, that's P4 and 5 for the pair of them. And Pookie's got to be kicking himself. So that's a double Red Bull podium. A 1-3. And that's just going to allow them to pull even further ahead in the Constructors' Championship. There we go. There's your winner for the 2nd week in a row. It's Ivan Hafterkamp, who, after not winning a race in Season 2, won 2 races in Season 3, and now he's won 2 races in Season 4, and he's now leading the championship. And now Ivan is in the strongest position he's ever been to be able to take the championship. There we go. Oh, please show me the. Please show me the results, please. I need to see them. No, please show me the results. Show me the results, please. Show me the results. Show me. Thanks. Okay, so I don't have the results screen to show you because the game decided not to show me what the results were. That's a bit irritating. But yeah, in the end, we only had 10 drivers finish that race out of 14 who started. Maybe someone else can show me the results. Now, something I didn't do last week because I forgot. Maybe I can do some interviews if people feel like it. Don't really have many questions, though. I can't think of any questions. So, let's... come on. Let's briefly... to that on... Oh, that doesn't look right. Let's stretch to screen. There we go. That's much better. So... There we go. I'm in the voice chat if anyone wants to interview. In case anyone wants to interview. I need to see results if anyone has them. Yeah. Dear. Leonard had some sort of strange error code. It wasn't allowing him to reconnect.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
So, unexpected.
Yeah, really unexpected. I do want to apologize first to Leonard for his game crash, or I don't know what happened. He should have won today. But yeah, I'm kind of happy with P1, back-to-back victory. Never had that before. And I'm leading the championship right now, but yeah. It's hard to enjoy it when your rival just had a game crash and you know it's not or compromise the championship by that. So
do you have the results of that race by any chance? Because I didn't get them.
I also didn't get it.
Right.
But I think
I'm gonna have to go through the stream. Yeah, go through the stream and catch what they were. Oh well. So you were on the alternate strategy as well as Pookie. I did notice you were not going past
I
Faker.
would have only needed to get like 2 more seconds to you, probably.
Yeah, and still it was 2 seconds.
For you and Tim pushing harder.
It was 2 seconds still.
Listen, who moved Stilguns? We were in an interview for the stream.
Yeah, I thought, well, everybody's gonna join the voice call, so why not?
No. Give him voice then.
But do I need to go?
Wait, moments.
I will go in voice chat.
Wait, we will move him back.
Let's keep going.
I couldn't speak all of a sudden. I was muted.
No, I don't know, but let's keep going.
So I noticed you were you were holding off on overtaking Faco for a few of those laps.
That was because I needed to save some energy to provide him overtaking me when I get past him. So when I saw his red light flashing, that was the point when I thought, okay, now I need to push and get rid of the DRS so I could drive away. But now I'm in call with Leonard. I mentioned it before at the beginning of my interview, Leonard. I need to apologize to you. You should have won today.
Yeah,
it's difficult to enjoy this because I know you should.
Yeah, but it's also a discussion point. So
what's the discussion?
Because
not for the stream.
Not for the stream. No,
but yeah, as I mentioned, it's difficult to enjoy because you was such a fast man on the track, and was looking at your times, sector times and lap times, and I was like, how? You know?
My times, or
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I was. There was really there was something. Handjes, he was ahead of me in the first and second sector, and
gave you DRS.
he was holding me up a bit in the first and second sector, but I got a DRS on the hanger straight, so and then I got fast lap. I was also surprised with, oh, the fuck did I get fastest lap when I was holding up for for a lap or something. But then I think it was one lap later, and then my game says bye. So I was just on the straight. I was just on the strain, and my game freezes, or my screen freezes, and it was Steam lost connection and tried to rejoin, and he said
you couldn't fix
no.
it.
No, because I was wait. I got it recorded.
I immediately said in the race, I saw you left. I thought the game crashed because you went offline on Steam, and I immediately said I feel bad for Leonard because I knew I would overtake FICO, even though not on track. Then it will be on penalties.
Yeah, FICO was helping me, of course.
Yeah, exactly. I was seeing that, but you should have won today, so it's difficult to enjoy a victory like this.
Watch my stream.
I'm watching.
I recorded this just for the evidence because I was trying to record my full race, but I was lagging a bit with Streamlabs. I think I got wrong settings or something, and I got the other problem with GeForce Experience is that it is recording the wrong screen every time. It's not recording my game screen. It's recording my desktop.
I can help you with that later. So.
Yeah, but I thought, okay, I will start up Streamlabs fast, and then I will show this. This was after. This was before I we tried to restart my PC. So joining session.
Your computer.
I even restarted my computer, and still I got this. Joining session. This.
What the fuck?
Got it every time. So when I didn't got this, then I could rejoin and still be on P1 because I have set the AI level to 90. So when these things happen, then you still got a bit of time to get back. So
yeah, I thought it cost me, or it took me 5 laps to keep up with you. I closed the gap 1.2 seconds per lap, so you were 7 seconds ahead of me. So again, you should have won today, because I wasn't able to close 7 seconds in 10 laps. No way. So yeah.
No. Yeah, it was. I think the gap was even more if Faker was going to do the Sergio Perez strategy, but
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, it's a discussion point, and yeah, I don't know. It is good to having that on stream. So I think it's just we need to discuss that out.
Yeah, we'll do that later on when the stream finishes. I don't know if.
But still, Guns.
Yeah.
What was your race for you watching it?
It was enjoyable, I think.
Yeah, there was a fair amount of action. It was I can't remember who it was. I know that Kane made contact with, was that Faco?
Faco, yeah. I don't know what exactly happened there, but
I only heard him screaming, "What the fuck?"
I was also hearing Faco. He says, "Oh my god, what the fuck?" He was a bit disappointed because he said he had a good battle with him, so he felt disappointed because he had a good battle with Kane, but I don't know what happened there. But I think I also see that back sometimes. So yeah.
Han just did post the results in case anyone was.
That's nice for him
Yeah.
because
So-
I couldn't screenshot it, of course, because I was not in lobby.
Yeah, I didn't get them either, which is an odd one. But so Ivan,
Yeah, I think you also streamed the results, I think, or not?
I wasn't able to. They just didn't show up.
Oh, the fuck?
They didn't show up on when the race ended. I can show them on the screen right now. Just need to set the display capture on.
Yeah, I think this is
So
it's usable. This.
yeah. So yeah, Ivan won. You got fastest lap as well, by the looks of things. So do we give the extra point for that? The fastest lap.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So that's 106 points to Ivan. Dan Edwin, pretty mega drive from P10 to P2. He's not here to talk to us, though. Kane manages to recover to P3. Of course, Faker and Pookie got the 3-second time penalties. Pookie actually had a 6-second time penalty. I'm not certain where that came from. And Linux, your AI did manage to finish in P8.
Still in the points.
Yeah.
But it was I expected something. I expected at least a podium if I would made a mistake, but yeah.
Right, so
I think we need to end the stream and time to discuss about it. But I don't think there's a discussion point. about
For
it.
you, because you finished P1. But
That was an
I
intense
don't-
race, I think, to discuss.
All right. If we can go to the admin channel, then we can
Alright.
discuss.
alright, see you guys next week.
I'll see you guys still. Good.
See you
Yes,
next week.
thanks for
Thanks for the
streaming.
streaming.
Yes, thanks. Yeah, and see you next week.
Okay, I think I cut Leonard off by mistake there. Oh well. So there we go. That's the results. Kane will hold on to P3. He gets 15 points. And Ivan, with that fastest lap points, mean he's 106 points. So leading the championship by, I think, 11 points. So, not bad for Ivan. Let's see if he can keep up that lead. The next week we will be in Hungary on the 9th of March for round 7. Well, that's pretty much halfway through the season. And then we'll be in Belgium on the 16th. Yes, we have a 15 race calendar will be ending on the 4th of May in Abu Dhabi. By which point the 2022 game should have been announced. So yes, thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll catch you next week for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Thank you very much, and good night.